And so, hey, Scorpio, you're my best friend. So I want to talk again, but what should we talk about? What should we talk about? I know. Let's talk about Kabbalah, Kabbalah, but the Judo-Christian tree of life. Yeah, the judo Christian tree of life. Great, awesome, right? I like this so much, and I've been like so drawn to it. Like I just like such like systems of energy where you can clearly see how the energy progresses and during like all the stages of maturity and 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 knowledge, wisdom. Yeah. So so let me just have like a map of kabbalistic, like tree of life, and there I have it. Like you have the kingdom, like you have the foundation, and then you have the splendors, eternity, beauty, severity, mercy, understanding, wisdom, and the crown. Like I've just named all like the pillars on the tree of life of the Kabbalah. And I like it so much. Like I like it so much. But okay, it's kind of hard to discuss all of them. So today we're going to talk like let's talk let's talk um let's talk the higher rectangle on the Kabbalah, which is like on the four angles, understanding, wisdom, mercy, and severity. It's kind of fun. You think wow, but like begin from the bottom of the tree. Okay, let's begin from the bottom of the tree. But you have the kingdom. Okay, the kingdom. I when I think about the Kabbalah, I usually have the depiction of the body, of course, since I read it from my own, astral body or my own physical body. So the kingdom, I suppose, is the well or the source of it all. So the kingdom is perhaps the sex organs, the penis, the penis, the erected thing, that kingdom, kind of funny, right, right. And then you have the foundation, with which I equate with like the abdomens, and the pecs. And then you have splendors and eternity. Now, those are more linked to states of feeling, and also linked to like maturity, how much you've matured. And depending on your maturity, you reach these different stages on the tree. So, and I think that's kind of like a good start, right? A good start. We've covered the kingdom and the foundation, which is like the packs, the well of chi. If you're a qigong person, the well of chi, the foundation of it all. And that's kind of like interesting when you think about the Kabbalah and like enlightenment and like qigong. You have like this well of chi in your abdomen. And what you're supposed to do, like, in different like physical practices, in different like stuff, you're supposed to, like, fuel your well of chi so that you can use then that chi energy to do different stuff, such as right now I am talking, I am using my chi, like, mainly vibrating on my fifth chakra, which is communication. Kind of funny. But if but the thing is, in the foundation, like, in the well of chi, um like that's when it's very tricky in the well of chi, how to have infinite chi, like how to have infinite chi. It's kind of hard. Because the well of chi, you want to pour so that you have so much chi inside, so much, vital force, or so much spirit energy inside. But then, of course, we know all what happens. We have these powerful urges that that comes, and then we 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 lose all the chi. We lose all the chi, and then we go crying, and and then and then that's kind of like done. Like, we don't experience the next steps on the tree of life, like, like splendors or eternity, like beauty, we don't find them, of course. And when I can even give like a back on myself and my path to maturity, like when I was younger, I had bad control of the kingdom. I had bad control of the kingdom. I had bad control of the foundation, because I was basically just let us say, like, my dick was immature, sexually immature, and I was just, eating a lot, and then completely not pouring into my well of chi. But since I was young, I still had the energy. But as a consequence of that, I ended up having so many pimples on my face. And then that's when I well that's 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 when I actually became more serious, and learned the art of the foundation, which is the well of chi. And I started cultivating my chi, and ever since I learned cultivating my chi, since I'm pretty good fighter, so I've been doing it like full on, cultivating my chi and just having the most amount of chi that I can have. And of course, this like most guys and girls, I think, do no fap in to like, pour into the well of chi so that they can have so much in the foundation. And then, of course, when you have so much in the foundation, then you can go on to, like, reach these greater states of winning splendors, winning and having these streaks of feeling good, splendors, or even eternity. Because when you have enough in your well of chi, that's when you awaken and you start to search the divine and all that. So eternity is also one concept that is next to, like, the foundation. On the right column, you have you have okay, okay. On the right column you have splendors, and then on the left you have eternity. uh, or the opposite. I still don't know how to read this because I'm thinking about, like, but on the right you have eternity, and on the left you have splendors. So that's kind of fun. But either way, you understand. You can either take the two paths to, like, splendor and eternity, and then you like evolve through the Kabbalistic practice, and you gain more maturity. So I suppose like and that even sets, like, the two paths people choose to building the well of chi. Like, I know I started not even though I'm mainly like, religious itch. I did not to like pour into my well of chi out of like a religious vocation. No, it started from a need to become, strong and just more beautiful. So that's when I poured like most. I started, harnessing my chi to the best of my ability, and learning how to cultivate it so that I can have more chi and be more magnetic, and do flips and stuff. So in splendors, like the best experience I can give in splendors is actually learning how to do flips. Splendors, there is this feeling of flight, of just flying high, of just jumping and just flipping around. So I recall when I was young, I suppose about like 14, like that, when I had discovered the earth. Then I started pouring into my well of chi, and I started learning the backflip, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun because I was learning how to do the backflip, and doing stuff. It's fun. It's fun. I like the Kabbalah. It's kind of fun. And then I like was going to pour so much chi in my body to do like 100 push-ups, and that goal I actually reached. So I'm so happy. But after like that goal of like reaching my 100 push-ups, then something happened, like but I see the splendors. I see eternity. I suppose eternity can even equate to the void. No, the void is the art. Okay, okay. So it's not there yet. But in splendors, then you learn how to become, like, you feel more beautiful, because of course, when the well is well, you know well well seated in the kingdom, or well replenished in the kingdom, there is more prosperity. So it's kind of funny. More prosperity in the kingdom, and you have more beauty, of course, and that's kind of like understandable. And as like my own, like, take on life, I can say my pimples were completely gone, and my face was looking bright, and I was highly attractive. So good. So I poured into my well of life, and I had more chi in me, and basically I was looking more beautiful as a result. And then you have eternity. But there, on eternity and splendors, I have describe it as the feeling of flight, just flying high, doing crazy shit, ninja stuff. But then on the other hand, you have eternity. For me, it was not like something like eternity. Actually, now that I think about it, eternity means kind of like ever, ever just going, ever going. But what I felt was more like a void, a deep void inside, like literally so empty inside, like I just had no desires, like kind of like ish, almost as if, but it felt like an eternity. But for me, eternity there on the Kabbalah felt more like a void, just like a void, emptiness inside. And that void, of course, led me to learn so much astrology, so much wisdom, and so much, because I felt a void inside, like I just felt like, but it was more like a thirst for learning too. So eternity, void, I don't know what to say a lot on that. But then you have the tree of severity. Of course, if severity means more control, I became more controlled, so to speak. But now I'm talking about myself. Yeah, it's kind of easy if I talk about the Kabbalah in the light of myself. It's easier. So let's follow that route, and then we can even, talk about it again in another light, in another light. But then we have severity, and of course, again, more control, and and was actually fasting as severity, kind of good, kind of good. And then fasting severity, yeah, kind of fun because I had so much in my kingdom, in my well, in my foundation, that now I needed to be more severe, meaning fasting. So I learned fasting, and I was fasting as a 15-year-old. I was fasting and doing my workouts, but this was of course all for workouts. I was fasting to get more more in my well of chi, only for workouts. It had no religious spiritual no religious aspect to it, more spiritual. But even spiritual, I didn't care about spirituality. I cared more about physicality, and just having endurance, so to speak, endurance. So I learned more control, and I was perhaps more on the tree of severity. But I suppose if you're on the tree of severity, you also become more severe. But I wasn't more severe in that sense, just more controlled in myself, in my being. And then let's see, and then you have mercy. Well, mercy is kind of easy. Always forgive your 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 yeah, always forgive people, always forgive you. That's kind of like an easy concept, but then it's kind of empty there. And you have understanding on the right, and then you have wisdom. Of course, I went to school, so I gained so much understanding. Kind of fun, kind of fun. But if we go from the foundation of the kingdom being the thing, and then you have the wealth, the well, which is the foundation. You have the well, and the kingdom. Of course, I had so much life in my kingdom, so I gained more understanding. But this was a different kind of understanding, not just school-ish type of understanding. This was more spiritual understanding on how things worked. And of course, this is a fun spiritual understanding, but mainly astrology. Like, I was so into astrology, before even hitting a girl, I'll try to know which sign she belongs in, and then I'll listen daily to all the videos about the girl I liked, and then I just felt like I knew them, which was not the case, because I did not talk to them, but I listened to what they are like. I listened to the sun sign, moon sign, and astrology. But eventually, I also made the contact. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But of course, astrology there, in understanding astrology there, played such a big role, like in understanding shit and stuff and human behavior. Like, I was so into astrology. But then we have a missing link, there in the art, the art. But I don't think I ever reached. Yeah, the art must come after, before wisdom. Yeah, the art. And the art must be the stages when I started learning kung fu, I suppose, because I had so much in my well, that I was basically activating my astral body, my light body, or as they call it, the aura around me. which can be associated with the art. So I started activating the aura around me, or not activating it, but feeling it around me, and actually feeling it around me, like knowing that I have an aura, because I did not feel anything of that like sort before, but I came to the realization that I have an aura, and even like powers almost like electricity in my body, because we have this light body. So in the art I learned kind of like the mechanic of the magnetic force surrounding man, and attraction. Some call it attraction, the law of attraction, but that I have an aura that which creates attraction, which draws people to me. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. And I think I had like 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 when people like are young, they have such strong bodies, so they have pretty auras. They have pretty auras, and I had was had cool aura. I suppose I equated it to orange aura, more like a solar type aura, orange aura. But then different shit happened like in my life. Like I thought my aura was only going to be orange, because each time I waked up and I kind of like felt the sensation, and it's orange and beautiful. So I thought my aura was only going to be orange, but then some shit happened and it turned green, and for the first time I was like, ah, I'm green now. What the fuck? How did this happen? How did this happen? For me, orange aura was the standard, because orange was like that of pure raw, solar energy, and I liked it. But now my aura was changing colors, and I was basically kind of like uh in between, because I was clearly stepping into wisdom and understanding how different styles um, has an impact on the aura around you, and how the people also have the impact on the aura around you. And this is one thing I want to speak about, like in the art. When your well is well poured, and when your aura is activated, the people around you have some influence on your aura, and they can actually influence the spiritual blessings you're able to give up to the world, and you take in like the big influence from people around you. So that's kind of like ish. But people with strong auras have a tendency to be hated or draw nice people to them. Like be hated or draw nice people to them. When you have a strong aura, that's a phenomenon that happens. And of course, people who are going to hate you is people who hate you for being powerful, or just knowing a lot, so they hate you. Or people who see you for who you truly are, love you because you make a good friend, a good someone to be with. But others will just hate you because it's not you, it's more them that cannot accept you, or the message you have to share. But that kind of happens like with auras and stuff, and I know it's a big thing. It's a big thing when you activate your aura and light body and all that. But also another thing I noticed in that was heightened sensitivity, linked to like activating my aura, feeling so sensitive and so deep, I did not care about being vegan and all those stuff, because I just was not that kind of person. But when my aura was activated, and I activated my light body, and I was feeling so sensitive and so, let us say, humane towards others, because I was just kind of like being like this energy person, able to sense the energy of others. So I became more nice and just nicer, And I liked the whole orange aura thing, but then some shit happened, and it turned some colors, and then I was, why did my aura turn turn green? But then of course your aura is supposed to turn colors depending on the chakra it's vibrating on, when you have enough in your well. So for me, I recall it going from which colors is it? Which color is it? Orange, and then green, and then blue, and then pink. But the aura I liked the most was orange and pink. Like pink aura was so nice, and it fitted me so nice having a pink aura. But that's because a pink aura is very very cool. You know, and then also a purple aura. My aura turned purple when I was uh you know when I was experiencing some crisis, but near awakening period, it turned kind of like purple, and that's kind of I think has to do with like crown chakra energy. So my aura was kind of like turning purple because I did not have the knowledge of like anchoring the crown chakra, because you're supposed to anchor it. And of course, to anchor the crown chakra is very hard, because you don't know you don't know first like how 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 it's governed, you don't know how it's governed, what rules or regulations the crown chakra follows, so it's kind of hard. But I remember like when my vibration was there, my aura was purple, and then green, and then orange. But I like the orange aura the most because I like to do martial arts, so orange is kind of like a cool aura that is a blend of that. But as like a time of period, I suppose my aura was never orange again. It was more on pink, purple, and these like white colors. Since I was vibrating more on crown chakra type of aura. And then of course you get close to the angels. Now this is another concept. I don't know if you've heard about it, Scorpio, but earth angels. There are some people who are angels on earth. It's kind of beautiful, right? Angels on earth. But basically they've they have just this angelic, like they're so connected to source energy, that they have angelic kind of like presence, angelic aura, you know angelic aura, like ish. They've completely made the connection between the the unconscious realms and conscious realms, and they just go at will, and they have access to these higher dimensional planes, and that's when you step more into the into the part of wisdom, which is kind of cool, wisdom. But um that's when you step more into wisdom, which is kind of cool, I think, if not coolest. When you gain the knowledge of the crown chakra, but it's not easy, because to have a powerful crown chakra, first you must have a well established third eye chakra, meaning you must not just be like on the sparks of awakening. Your third eye chakra must be fully illuminated and then powerful enough to go even beyond to the crown chakra. Now that's kind of hard to make happen, but that's kind of like how it's supposed to go. But then I recall like when I was hitting the part of like wisdom, then something interesting happened here on my forehead. I would sometimes close my forehead subconsciously, and then sometimes it will just go up like this. But this had two meanings. that I had to understand. One was whenever the forehead, you close your forehead in more in a stance like anger, it's not good because it's like you harnessing heavy energies which are blocking your third eye chakra. And when your third eye chakra kind of like is opening, this happens, and you just have it going up all the time. And I could like like wake up, the whole day, and this is happening, the whole day, just going up. But this is symbolic of energies coming, rising the spine and going through the third eye chakra and above to the crown. So that's kind of good. But there have been some traps. Now, I previously talked about the wars on Orion, and that's kind of like what I want you to know. Like there are like wars on on spiritual realms, which which if you get enlightened, you are kind of like dragged into, just because you're enlightened, just because you're an earth angel, and you're dragged into these things, and you say no, no. It's not so good, but it has more to do with forces trying to take power, because and actually, even like forcefully, close your third eye chakra, because they don't want people to have open third eye chakras. So many people, I suppose, through the path of enlightenment, have experienced, different shits, like with weird stuff. Like many have thought that they're going crazy, paranormal shits, but all that is kind of like understandable, especially if you're well synced into your spirituality. But the thing that becomes tricky is when these other like negative entities are, or negative like entities are involved, because what they do is that they bring so much negative energy into the table that the person ends up disassociating, themselves from their abilities, which is negative, because you should harness your abilities, so that you can actually, get better and better, and not harness negativity and be like, okay, okay, I'm not doing this because it's like that, because they exist, these negative entities, and negative forces, and even some people who consciously, consciously try to bring down the vibrations of others through negativity. So that's kind of bad. That's kind of bad. But that's kind of like my take on the wisdom and the art aspect of it. But of course, the wiser you become, the better you're able to anchor yourself in the crown chakra. Now, being anchored in the crown chakra is the hardest. Is the hardest. Now, the crown chakra is the purest of spiritual energy, meaning the highest peak of spiritual energy. Like if you anchored in the crown chakra, you're basically just this messianic person, um, Illuminati kind of person, shit. Illuminati in the good sense. But maybe we should talk Illuminati next. Mm. But that's kind of like it. The Kabbalah, from the world, from the kingdom to the world, to splendors, eternity, beauty, severity, mercy, understanding, wisdom, and the crown. Now I've explained it through the light of my own experiences. I think I'll cut it now, Scorpio, and we'll talk again about it in the next video. But this was kind of interesting when the energies came here, and also like, passing, yeah, going above, and the crown chakra. It's kind of interesting. But then you have these even like some demons. It's not that. It's not that. Just bad energies. Just bad energy. And another thing I wanted you And another thing I wanted like any spiritual practitioner to follow is that if you're following the path through enlightenment, don't ever fall in the trap of becoming religious. Always hold on to spiritualism, always hold on to like being spiritual, and learn the laws of spirituality, vibration, prayers, and all that. But I call it mainly vibration. Learn the laws of vibration and focus on spiritualism, because there is another trap, like when you're following in the spiritual path, and then when you experience some crisis, and then some people will try to convert you suddenly into becoming, I don't know, like this religious, and then you end up experiencing like this doesn't fit me at all. Like they want me to be this person, and then suddenly cut all my behaviors and all that. So that's kind of like some traps associated with these reptilian beings, because what they try to do is take power from the people, so that you don't have the power or say on what you like, because and then place these vibrations of fear in people. So that's why it's important to always, never be in fear, because never be in fear, like there's nothing out there, nothing in any dimension of space that you cannot conquer and that you are not master of. So that you should know, Scorpio. Yeah, and that's what we both know, Scorpio. There is nothing in any dimension of space that we're not king of, and there's nothing that can scare us. And I've even noticed another thing, if you think about it, like some people get scared of negative entities. They say negative entities, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. But when you think about it, if a negative entity is coming to you, it's because you are so powerful that they cannot they cannot take it anymore. So they try to come to you. But the trick to know is that you are powerful beyond measure. Like there is nothing in any dimension of time, space, reality that you cannot transcend, because you are the transcendent being. And remember this, Scorpio, this is another lesson. You are God. So do not believe in any God. You are God. Do not believe in any God. You are God. And that's why like my even like final lesson upon reaching my crown chakra and activating it was when I reached this stage, was that put humans above God. Put humans above God. Because there are some spiritual paths that can actually mislead you. You think, okay, we all love this God entity, so this is God. I should follow this. But the thing is, it's God, they say, but is it love? No, it's not love. And if you want to follow the spiritual path, which is always seated on love, you should always know you are God. And there ain't any God out there that can say anything. You are God. You participated in the creation of this reality. And there ain't any plane of space time reality that you cannot conquer. And there ain't any, like, war that you cannot win or anything like that. Like, even the sheets on Orion, I see this just as the soul having signed a contract that I'm going to come and play this game and then win it over, because everything is already won through the virtues of you just being alive, because you are God. Remember that. But also remember to put humans above God. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. When you get those principles, you can never get lost in the spiritual path. When you realize you should put humanity above any divine authority, then you'll never be lost in the spiritual path. And even in times of need, know that you are God and you'll never be lost on your spiritual path. You'll always have the reins. And also another like thing I was going to question about was like suddenly converting, because you're scared of something. It's not the right thing to do. You should never make any decisions out of fear because you are God. And when you put humans above God, you realize how powerful you are. That all these images, that, that all these forces are all but under your dominion because you are God. Understand that. And you take the keys from the heavens and earth from the angels because you are God. So just go there and declare, I want the keys to the both kingdoms because I am God and I do not give my allegiance to any hierarchy to anything there because I am God. I am the power. Realize that and own your power. Don't give your power away to these dumb forces. It's nasty. And I think that'll be it about the Kabbalah and the lessons and the lesson of the crown chakra. You are the power, and there ain't nothing you cannot reach. And of course, you are the power. There is nothing, 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 nothing. And of course, you are the power. But remember the lesson. You are God, but put humans above God. This is just for humans have survived through love of one another. And if you don't want to get lost in the spiritual path, follow the path of love, not of God, not of anything, but of love. And actually, one thing, another advice I'll give to, like, raising your energies is connecting with your twin flame or soulmate, or twin flame. Like, you have certainly like a twin flame. If you have a twin flame, always, raising all the way with your twin flame, like all the way with your twin flame, because like you, she, him, like are God, and you can even see your twin flame also as God. And that's a good thing to do because when you see your twin flame also as God and you are God and you have this the powerful, God energy meeting each other and raising, and that alone erases all negativity. Like there is nothing love cannot beat, and there is nothing love cannot beat. Nothing. And love is divine, and of course you have all authority. That's it. I'll cut this, but that's kind of like the Kabbalah. We did it. I should cut this now before something happens. If it's too long, something happen. It's not good.